Russ do what he need to do.
But here's what Russ does. And
I don't like
Steph,
PG in the playoffs for some reason.
Because he's weak in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the best we seen him was against me. Miami.
Facts.
I mean,
and that was long ago.
And that was long.
That was
Yeah.
pre-leg falling off.
Young boy. But the thing with Russ is, and Steph really showed this to the rest of the league in the playoffs and how he works. Is these guys, Russ, James, they'll pass the ball, but they're like, oh, it ain't for me. I'll pass it to you, and I'm gonna go just chill in the corner. Like, I'm not gonna be.
James does that a lot more. I feel like more than Russ, but I'm with you.
Yeah,
James.
I'm not gonna be a part of this offensive possession, and everybody know that. So when they give it up, the guy who's guarding James is like, oh, he out this play. Let me go help, or let me get ready to load.
James
up.
for sure don't slack
When Curry
or do anything.
Curry give up. Oh, set this screen. I'm
that's
gonna
true.
come off this screen.
Well, yeah, I mean that's their offense. I mean everybody on
But
their
that
team
should
do
be
that.
basketball.
It should
That's
be,
true.
but I mean, think of how many teams that when it come down to it, they still gonna do ISO taking turns to try to win the game.
That's right.
You're still gonna do that every year. I don't care if Chris Paul on the team. I don't care if
that's
Russell
true.
on the team.
That's why I don't fuck with you.
Yeah,
That's
James is gonna end up doing that every year. That's true.
OKC, even when KD was there, they was doing that at OKC. Like,
That's true.
John Wall and them do that shit. I mean,
Weak ass Billy Donovan.
Kyrie do
Yeah,
that.
to Billy Donovan and Scottie
even
Pippen did the
Bron
same
do that.
shit.
Like, that's just what
Something,
they
yeah,
do.
that's true.
That's right.
I don't know why, but that's just when it come down. Anybody can get it to the crunch time.
Yeah.
And then what you gonna do when it's there is the question.
Yeah.
Because with Houston, they gonna be there. They're not gonna have a problem in regular season. They're not gonna have a problem getting to the end of the game.
Right.
Then it's just, all right, now you're gonna knock down the shots.
It's another choke artist.
Is you're gonna do your ISO thing, you know, and it's only a couple players that you can trust to do that.
And James Harden isn't one of them.
James Harden not
Yeah,
one
nah.
of them.
James Harden is on
not
the
at this
bottom of
point.
the list for me.
It's you got. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
about you got Kawhi, LeBron.
Okay.
I put
KD.
Steph in there. People be
To do what?
Come on now. Let's show some respect to the
Free game. No free game.
two-time MVP.
Two-time MVP in the regular season.
He should have won a Finals MVP. I don't know what they were doing
He
giving
ain't
to
never had
Iggy that
one.
year.
Who was the better overall player that series, though? I think where what they were looking at was
Bron.
Yeah, Bron. I mean, yeah, we know that. You know, I was, but
He's
you
talking
know,
from the winning team.
yeah, the winning
The
team.
winning team. LeBron wasn't on the winning team.
I had to get into it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Steph-
with you.
I'm putting Steph in there. I'm putting
not
Steph
putting
in
him
there.
in there.
Has Steph had enough? Me and Lee was actually talking about this the other day. Has Steph? Do you think has Steph had enough big moments in the playoffs? Because we can think of big moments that I've had, Bron.
And
We
playoffs,
can
yeah.
think of big moments that KD has had. We can think of big moments, you know, that Kevin Durant has had. We can think of big moments that other players have had historically, and especially for Steph being the best shooter of all time. We do know that. Even Klay Thompson has had, you know, great and big playoff moments. Has Steph had enough to put him in those
I'm
conversations?
gonna let Lee go ahead and handle that one first.
I'm gonna say he has
Okay.
in the playoff series, pre-finals. I mean, some of the he's had playoff moments, you know, against Portland. I'm back.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, against Houston.
Against
Yeah.
the
seen
Thunder,
him
we
do-
not going home. Game 5, we not going home.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know, Clay game 6, 10, 11 threes
Yeah.
against the Thunder. You know,
I
we
think Steph
seen-
had 30 plus that game too, though. People be shitting on that.
I don't remember what he did. He's had big moments
He's had
in
big
playoff
moments.
series, just not in finals. That's all.
Yeah,
We've seen him rattle off runs in third quarters where he'll do 12.
But I need fourth quarter.
25 is
Well,
left.
let's be fair.
We
When
hold other
it was all
superstars to that.
falling down in Game 5, and Kawhi sat there and did the I forgot the name of the movie, but he looked at everybody in the league. He looked at LeBron and said, "It's
that's
my
true.
league now.
That's
it's
true.
my league now."
I'm with you. That's true.
Steph came back on the road with the series on the line, hit the big 3
Oh, you
pointers.
talking when Nick Nurse called the timeout?
I'm just saying.
And stopped the
He
run?
stopped the run.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
but
You
that
gotta
is
hit
true.
the shot.
Yeah, Steph
Okay, but
did take advantage.
They lost that series handily.
Yeah, Yes, they did.
I mean, when he didn't have his
and he had
crush,
the wide open look too.
He had the wide open
the
look.
wide
Six.
open look.
And for Steph, and for all the people that were Warriors fans, and for all the people that were Steph proponents and were saying that, oh, that was a tough shot, he was falling away. Steph's the best shooter of all time. He always falls away.
He's made that 100 times in a row.
He usually makes that. Come on, right off the right elbow. I didn't.
Steve
I
Kerr
didn't
drew up
like
a
that.
beautiful play.
It was beautiful.
It was almost. It was almost.
It was too good.
Thrown away by Draymond, but it was still good.
Facts, yeah.
Still good. But and this is why I like Steph.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I like him, because just like you said, if you give him that shot, he ain't gonna hit it. Steph will be the first one to say that. Steph will be the guy to be like, nah, man, I gotta hit that shit.
That's true.
I gotta hit that shit.
He does. I do.
All
What I do
the
like
kicking
about
goes
Steph.
on around him. It's not Steph. Steph is probably one of the more stand up. Like,
accountability.
Exactly.
That's true. I will give you that.
All that other shit is around him. It's not him.
That's because he got enough of that to hold him up, so he don't have no problem.
Yeah, that is true. Got a couple crutches in there.
I got nothing to give that nigga. I got nothing to give me.
That's
I'm weak. So okay, so look, we could go with Russ. He said he had some stuff for Russ for
Yeah, that's a fact.
Russ now on the Houston Rockets.
That's a fact.
I think that does nothing for them.
Wow.
But
Well, here's the thing.
What's up?
I don't think they're a contender just yet because
Contender for, we obviously know
For the
they're going to
title,
make the
because-
playoff, but for the title.
once again, I do think they got better, but I don't think it really was a jump for them as far as because the
He's
whole
better than
conference
Chris
got better.
Paul. That's true.
I don't think they're better than the Clippers. I don't think they're better than the Lakers. I think they can get past the Utah. I think they could.
I don't.
I mean, that's debatable though.
Them and the Blazers for 5 and 6. I mean, that's.
Well, I mean,
that's
I'm not talking about standings. I'm talking about in a series.
Okay.
I don't think they can get past any. I don't think they can get past Denver.
Do you think the Blazers with Hassan
But see, here's the thing.
that helps them more than not?
I'm not in Hassan White. So.
Okay.
Never mind, 'cause he's
yeah.
never in shape. But I mean, when you
And
talk
his mind
about
never there, yeah.
when you talk about Houston, back-to-back years in the Western Conference. 1 year in the Western Conference Finals, the other year both times got eliminated by the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get worse in this trade. They didn't lose any pieces except they upgraded at the position that they lost.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about Russell Westbrook, he's a better player than Chris Paul is right now, and he's more apt to be healthy in the playoffs, and he has more endurance and all of these things.
That's right.
So they still upgraded at least a notch. So to say that they're not going to be able to do at least what they did last year is a little bit of a stretch, in my opinion. With two guys who've already played with each other and have some chemistry in Russell and James, I think they're going to be a little bit better of a basketball team and still have a lot more playoff experience than the Denver, than the Utah, who's only won a couple series here and there.
That's true.
I don't think Utah, Mike Conley's had his lunch ate by Russell many a time before.
Oh, I mean, that was, 7 years ago?
I mean, hey, he's still the same dude.
7 years ago. And then
Russell's still
not only
averaging a
that,
trip dub.
Now, how do you feel about what the Rockets did and about what Utah did in Blazers?
Well, see, that's
those
my
two.
thing. So, I don't like Utah. I would love to bury them the way I buried the Dallas Mavericks. That's
something about Utah that's kinda-
I don't like. But when they added Conley, I was like, okay, they're gonna be around. But then they got Bogdanovich.
Yeah,
I was like,
Bojan, that helps.
Now you rolling out Conley,
Ingles.
Bojan, Ingles, Spider,
Gobert.
Gobert.
Yeah, that's true.
They cooking. So that's why I got them ahead of Houston. Houston,
Okay.
I agree with everything you said, League. I mean, it does make them better. Russ is better than CP3, but it doesn't. I don't think it changed their fortunes. I mean, I have to look back at it, but last year they were the 4 seed, and I think some crazy stuff had to happen on the last day of the season. They would have been a 6 seed or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
because
like
Kings lost to Portland.
Yeah, it was like 2
20
different
point
games.
comeback, and then Houston lost to OKC.
Right. That's what exactly. So, I see before the trade, I had them in the playoffs, but borderline contending to be 7-8 seed.
You talking about the Rockets,
The
correct?
Rockets.
Before
Yeah, I
the
had them by
okay.
6 or 7.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we were talking about. Yeah,
But about
before.
2 weeks ago as well, I had Utah as a 2 or 3 seed. After free agency and all these trades, now they're looking like a 4, 5,
I
6.
disagree. I got them at 2.
Wow.
You got them at 2?
On my latest rankings that I did on July 12th,
Okay.
Utah's the second best team in the West.
When's the last time Mike Conley showed you that?
I mean, what was the take that for data? He was balling.
That was about. He ain't even the coach no more.
That was like 2 years ago, though.
3
3 years ago.
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when
the
you talk
team is
about
garbage.
somebody being over the hump,
The team is garbage. The Grizzlies are garbage.
Now let me ask this. For a team like the Blazers in Utah that have obviously made, you get Hassan Whiteside on the Blazers, basically, easy, pretty much the same team around them for the most part in the Blazers, and then you got Utah adding Bojan Bogdanovic, and then adding Mike Conley. Do we feel like both of those teams get past the second round?
Let's see.
Now they may be going against each other. I mean, now
Utah and
the Blazers.
no.
With
Blazers,
the additions that they made, do we
but
see Mike Conley and Bojan getting Utah over that hump? Do we
Utah
see
could.
Hassan getting
Utah
over
could.
that hump?
I don't have the Blazers being any higher than 4, so no, they're not beating the Clippers or the Lakers.
And I can see Blazers getting beat in the first round. But
I mean, it
but
depends on
potentially,
the guy,
now depending on who that 4 or 5, that 4.
And I call Hassan a bum, and okay, maybe not like for what he's making, for what he thinks he is. No, you're not that. Now he's not gonna have to be that.
He hasn't had a really good season in. It's been a couple years even. Now, remember,
I didn't even like Hassan when he was like producing. Like I was like
the 2K rating Hassan.
I was like, man, them numbers. I ain't feeling them numbers.
I'm with you.
But
there was something about it.
he was
still.
doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just not that guy no more, but he's not going to be asked to be that guy. I mean, he's going to be like a finisher. Can he do, let me ask you guys, can he do what Enes Kanter did?
Yeah, he can.
In the playoffs, at least.
Yeah.
I think he
What
can.
was
Just
it?
He can do
12 and
more.
10.
He can do more.
He can do more,
It
but
just
does he
depends.
do it?
That's
always
part of the package.
No,
Like,
exactly.
It's more
Can he
mental
do
than
that?
We
it
know that
is,
Enes
like-
Kanter has at least shown it more times than not. I mean, now he has shown that he can't be playable either. At times, Enes Kanter, but but
Can't play Kanter.
depending on the
Can't
series.
play Kanter.
But he at least has showed us, and even last year, the Blazers, who were they going against? Were they going against Denver?
Yeah,
Denver.
Okay, so.
And
He
ain't gonna let him live it.
My thing with Hassan is he just don't be in shape. Like, how you got your hands on your knees and it's the second quarter?
Come on, man.
I mean, come on. I mean,
son.
take your
And
craft
he's not
kind of serious.
fat. I mean, he's not overweight.
No.
I mean,
I mean, you got to take your craft serious.
that's what I'm
at
saying.
this
And
point,
mentally serious
What's he been in
too.
the league? 9 years?
Yes,
now?
it's been a
If you
long
ain't-
time.
we still got- We got the same issues now.
Still, and think
This
about
is
it.
who you are.
That's why when the Kings fans were coming out, a few years back and they were like, man, look at what he's, kind of starting to do in Miami and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, but the Kings were taking it for what it was worth at that time, and it was worth about 5 cents.
I don't think
So,
nobody-
so at the time, they did what they needed to do because he wasn't even showing
Right.
potential. Even he was just a tall model.
Nobody saw that coming.
No one saw that coming.
He was a second-round pick.
And what was the stickler back then? Endurance and mental capabilities.
Right.
And mental is even
And that's why the
studying.
Kings let him walk. Because
That's why the
just
Kings let him
He
walk.
got it together for about 2 years. And like I say,
that's why
he's
he
not,
did
I mean, the numbers, he's not putting out scrub numbers for an NBA player, but considering the fact that he has a max contract.
That's
those are
true. He's
scrub
had that
numbers.
contract for
Those are scrub numbers for somebody getting a max contract. So
That's true.
To answer your question, yeah, I don't think, because of Portland, if they're at 4 or 5, I don't see them winning the second round series against Clippers, Lakers, Jazz. I don't even see them beating the Jazz.
Do Dame and CJ, can they get you to the point where they have better than one standout series? I think that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see where Dame can have a big shot moment. Obviously, we've seen that over Paul George. Yes, that was over you, PG.
More Thunder Crossfire.
You know,
man.
I ain't with it no more. I ain't with it. They traded me. They can go.
And it just seems as though Dame will have, those. He had, the one against the Rockets a few years back when Dwight was, seen doing these, and he only is that one series. Right. And I think that's what I keep getting caught on. And sometimes I even look at Donovan Mitchell similarly to where I see him having a good series or, good. And obviously this will probably be the best team that Donovan Mitchell has had thus far in his young career. But I think it's one of those where they are similar in the sense Donovan and Dame are really great players. I think, eventually both of them probably end up getting to the Hall of Fame. Everybody gets in the Hall of Fame in basketball, seeming like. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they push and elevate your team to getting over that hump and winning more than one series and having just a great playoff run, consistent. And I think that's the tough thing that I always get stuck up on.
See, I don't know, and Lee and Sean, you could tell me. So what I look at with Dame and CJ is typically they go off of when they go off, it's because the other team you can only guard one of them. So they take a defender and put the guy on, say, CJ, and Dame's got the mismatch. He'll go to work.
Oh yeah, on that PG
series
every day.
It was the reverse. Like they trying to put Murray or somebody on Dame because he just kills the
Torrey Craig.
Oh yeah,
Torrey Craig. Yeah, and then CJ went off. Where they get into trouble, and this is why they can't ever beat the Warriors, because the Warriors have those two guards.
And we saw that with Drew Holiday and
Rondo.
Exactly, Drew and Rondo.
So if you hold them
if you
down
got
a little
two,
bit,
you can get with them, but
so they have no chance against Kawhi and PG at all.
I don't think at all.
and Beverly.
And Beverly. So they have no
they can't play against the
And they may not even beat the Jazz if they end up having to go
Conley
against the Jazz.
and Donovan Mitchell. Conley played defense.
Shit, they'll throw
And
Ingles
Ingles.
on
I'm about to
That'd
say
be
Ingles
a good series,
too.
though. I
They'll
won't
throw
say
Ingles
that.
on somebody. And then if they play, okay, what you think if they play the Lakers?
If
That's Rondo and Danny Green.
Blazers against the Lakers.
Why
They'll
not talk
still
about?
eat, but they'll get
People
still.
think Danny Green. I mean, I don't know. They Danny Green, great wing defender. Yeah,
I think it wouldn't look as bad for those two guards. It wouldn't look as bad, but it would still be a 4-1, 4-2.
And Danny Green's not a lockdown. Obviously, at this point, we understand that, but Danny Green still poses more of a threat defensively than a lot of other players. And when you can throw people, a lot of times at KCP. KCP's getting $8 million just like Steph Curry getting $8 million.
Right.
So the whole thing is, at the end of the day, KCP, he's an okay defender. You just need someone to at least be the same height or high.
Lakers got Avery Bradley too.
Okay, well, I don't mean to run your show. This is a
I
free
saw
game
you know,
podcast. Well, let's go there.
It's all good. Free game Casey's corner,
Questions
Bradley
here about these Lakers. What you think about the Lakers?
I think they better win this year. I think they better win
Okay, why
right
you say
now
that?
because this is why I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you because this is what they said all year. Just give us AD. I don't care who we got to give up.
Yeah.
Give us AD, and you got him. And now you got pieces around him as well. So I don't want to hear nothing else. Y'all better win it this year. I'm tired of y'all talking about how great y'all is and how y'all the standard of
I said we was weak
basketball.
last year.
You said if you had AD, y'all would do it, and you got it. Not only did you get him, DeMarcus talking about he healthy. Avery Bradley is coming off the bench. Your roster went from 3 players to 13 deep.
Oh,
Okay,
Pelinka did a good job.
Let me
Pelinka
ask
did a
you
good job.
on this. Do they have the pieces around them?
They got enough. They got enough.
Okay, well,
It's no excuse.
Are they
They
better than the
have
Clippers?
enough. On paper, it's a toss
To
up.
me, it's a toss up.
I don't know if they're better than the Jazz.
The Clippers top 6 players are better than the Lakers top 6 players. But then after the Clippers 6, it starts to fall off.
After
The Lakers,
I'm looking at
6
a
through
full
12
roster.
is about the same dude, which you don't need that many,
Right.
honestly. But
if you can have a couple people cancel out, and to a certain extent cancel out. Obviously, you got LeBron and AD, PG and Kawhi. All 4 of them are going to score and going to eat at times. It's gonna be about your Montrezes. It's gonna be about Avery Bradley coming in. It's gonna be about
here's the
KCPs.
thing. This is what me and Sean, the way I start to break it down. So like in that series, Lakers versus Clippers, you have your constants on each side, and you got your variables on each side.
Yeah.
Kawhi is your constant for the Clippers. LeBron is your constant for the Lakers. You know what they're gonna do. You don't have to question them no more.
Right.
If it's clutch, they both gonna perform. They gonna be there. We haven't seen AD in that environment, and PG has not shown himself consistent in that environment.
That's what.
Those are your variables.
That's true.
I'm going to say this. If I hear one more person bring up Anthony Davis's first round performance against the Blazers and talk about, did you see what he did in that first round? Who cares? Who cares? They got their ass beat the very next round and it did nothing.
And
I
that
don't want
was
to
a
hear about that no more.
and that was a defensive series in which they won
Right.
that.
I don't want to hear about that. I got questions about Anthony Davis.
I'm with you on
I
that.
understand his talent.
And we haven't
I
seen
recognize his talent. I have questions about Anthony Davis.
As
Number
do I.
one, he's a follower. I don't like my guys to be followers.
I'm with
He
you.
seems like a follower. And
As does
I
PG.
don't-
PG is a follower. He follow. Yeah, that's true.
He's a follower. So I got questions about both of those guys.
Those are your variables. Lou Williams is a constant. You know that Lou Williams is going to bolster the second unit down with 18 to 20 a game.
We put Montrez as a constant?
Montrez is somewhat of a
Montrez is a
constant.
constant.
Because
Yeah,
you know,
I think
what
that
he
is.
does, you don't expect too much more. You know
Right.
what he's going to give you. You know,
Right.
so those are your constants on that side. Then you have PG as a variable. Shamit, can he hit threes in the clutch situations?
My boy Shamit.
If you kick to him, he's
Darius
gonna knock it down.
Thornwell.
I don't know if he's going to be in the rotation or not. You know,
I mean,
you got
so-
some
you start to
variables.
get- you start to get towards
They're getting a little deep though. I like Shamit. I like Thornwell.
Danny Green got to
But
be
here's the
considered a
thing.
constant.
Exactly.
I disagree.
I
Danny Green
Now,
is feast of famine.
Now, okay.
Danny,
now
but
to an
at the
extent,
same
he's a shooter.
account,
Yeah.
if his shot is not falling, he's still at least
Effort
playing defense.
defensively.
He
gives
knows
effort.
his IQ. He knows what he's
gives effort.
doing. He's a champion.
But when that shot ain't falling, that shot ain't falling.
Then you
He's
gotta
like,
sit him.
He's
You
like
gotta
0
sit
for
him.
9.
But he's closer to a constant than a variable. He's not. This last playoff
We've
run,
seen
he
Danny
struggled.
in the
He
playoffs
struggled in the
enough,
series
too.
or two,
That's
but he
the-
still showed up in the finals in at least enough
it
games
matters.
and knocks them down.
Well, man, about 2 games. In the
And he also, and with the Spurs, you know what he did.
I'm not a big Danny Green.
No, I'm with you.
I'm not a believer.
And the
Then
thing,
you got guys like Avery Bradley's a variable. You don't know what he gonna do. We ain't even seen
he
him in
can
a
play.
long time. You
If
know,
he can-
so
I mean,
you
if
got
he
a
can-
lot of
I'm gonna
Rondo's
say-
health
I'm
is a
gonna say something.
variable. DeMarcus is still somewhat of a variable. It
JaVale
just
can only
comes
play
down.
for 5 minutes at a time.
And so that's what it
but
comes down
JaVale
to.
did play pretty fairly consistently.
Which
No,
of those
I agree
variables
with
is
you.
high,
which of those
No, I'm with
variables?
Because when he's on there, you know what you're getting from him. He plays solid.
Yeah.
No, that's true,
But he
yeah.
can only play 5 minutes.
If
at a
he's
time.
giving you 12 and 11, that's all you need.
So
from
is
JaVale.
PG or AD gonna elevate more? That's who it really
Okay,
comes
so
down
what?
to.
No, that's true.
Who would you have your money on, PG or AD?
It's tough.
We've seen
Because-
PG in the playoffs more than AD, so
That-
therefore it is a little
I
bit
think
tougher.
we know
but
that AD is the better overall player, but it's the position of what he can do and the speed
the
at which he can
advantage.
do it at your size. So like PG and Kawhi are both that wing player, which is the most important position in the NBA right now.
Right.
They got 2 of the top 5 wings on one roster, which is what makes them so deadly.
no, that's true.
AD is dope, but
Well, he's a top 5 big man.
he's not
And he's
coast to coast.
considerably could be top
He's
5
not
to
coast
top
to
6
coast
player.
out here on the perimeter
He's
playmaking.
outside the top 5 for me.
He's not triple threatening you from the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? PG and Kawhi can both do that for you. LeBron can do that for you.
Right.
So it's just it depends on play style.
I don't
know how they're gonna run their team. The Lakers.
The only reason I disagree
Ron, point.
a little bit with that is that AD has shown us, even though he hasn't shown us in the playoffs because he hasn't been there enough, we've seen him be more than one threat from the outside. Not that he's hitting, the
I said
3-point.
triple threat, dribble, shoot, pass.
Oh no, with DeMarcus.
Definitely. Matt.
The reason why I would disagree with that is we saw with DeMarcus for a season and a half, where him and DeMarcus were both being able to lob, pass. Now we haven't seen it consistently, I wouldn't say,
Right.
from AD from that point. He can pick and pop, he can pick and roll,
Right.
he can lob, he can also post up. He's also a threat from the outside. You can't just leave him open on the 15 to 18 foot.
Right.
You can't leave him open just on the 3. Now, granted, I'm not saying he's a 35 to 40%, 3-point shooter, but he can hit 30%. He can hit 31%. He's shown he can hit, you can't just leave him open. That's where I think even putting him with now DeMarcus. And the one player that we're all forgetting as well, even though he is a variable going into his 3rd year, Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is a big X factor, which could end up elevating them.
And I
He's
like
the
Kuz.
player. And we've all seen Kuz be able to score. We've seen him be able to be a dog. We saw it last year against OKC where he scored 41. We've seen him score 30 against the Rockets.
Let's just leave it at he can score. 'Cause that's what it is. He's not locking up. He's not passing.
No, I'm
he's not
with
doing
you. I mean,
anything.
yeah.
He
I'm
can
with
score. He can score. But you're right.
So it sounds like you leaning towards the Clippers.
I think the Clippers are a little better. Me and my homeboy, we had this discussion pretty much all week after the trade went down. He thinks the Lakers are better. I think the Clippers are better. But even with me thinking the Clippers are better, it's not like they're just heads and shoulders.
Oh, no, I think for me it's close,
I think
yeah.
they're right there. If they met up, say, in the Western Conference Finals, man.
I think, yeah,
I
7
don't
games.
know
I
where
mean,
that one's
I
going.
don't know.
That'd be crazy, man. Them Clipper-Laker games are going to be crazy.
It's just gonna be difficult because
That bench is going to be important for both teams. Because the Lakers, without getting Kawhi, they definitely built up the rest of that
if I'm
roster.
bringing the ball up the court and I got Pat Beverly on me, then I get switched on to Kawhi.
Yeah, it's tough.
Then I got a kick and he getting guarded by PG. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah. And then Montrez is in there on the
And then
block.
I mean, that's gonna be tough.
We forgot Zubac too.
And Zubac is big.
No, Zubac too. Well, and that's why when you're looking at both of their front courts,
like
you know, you're looking at Montrez, Zoo, and who else did Clippers front court? Montrez, Zoo.
They don't really have much besides that.
Do they have like
they got
tall
more
people?
Harkless now.
Okay,
Mo Harkless. They got
And he's funny.
what's old boy? This is a good bad sign. I can't even remember his name, but he played pretty well. What's the dude's name, man?
I can't think of another big man that
They re-signed. I'm about to pull it up, man. 'Cause
Okay.
They re-signed him, man, and he played and he like got minutes in this series. This
I can't think of his name.
After
That might be bad.
Mo Harkless, Mo Harkless would be cool for the regular season. I don't see him being a factor in that series.
Mo Harkless
against
is
the
a bum
Lakers.
in the playoffs. He don't never play well in the playoffs. He's
he
almost
can't-
unplayable.
Look, he can't guard Kuzma.
Mo Harkless?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
Kuzma, cook that.
Kuzma.
Kuzma ain't cooking nobody.
Yo.
Kuzma nice, but he ain't just gonna cook somebody.
But he's
Kuzma might
cooking
cook you.
for
He'll light you up.
I tell you,
You know, he always was cooking for you, though.
No disrespect.
No disrespect, I'll be sure. He'll light you up. He'll light you up.
No disrespect.
And honestly, I can't even disrespect. You know, you got JaVale, you got Bron at the front court, you got a backup.
My thing with the Lakers is this.
I mean, that's a big.
They're
front
to the
court.
point where they almost have too many players to where at some point that rotation got to tighten up to 8-9 players.
that's
You know,
fact.
so I mean,
Well,
throughout
you
the
wanna
season
get
it might
though.
be cool because
Michael Green.
Oh yeah, Jamal's
there's no
cool.
reason to
Yeah,
mention.
yeah, Jamal.
Michael Green would get some minutes. Come on, man.
Okay, so you know,
No,
Hakeem Warren, you know, Hakeem
All
Warren.
right, right on Christmas.
Okay.
Come on.
Look,
We talking about Fab Melo?
Jermichael Green went for 9 and 6 off the bench for you last year.
I'm with you, you know.
Okay.
I'm not, you know. That's not that much. That's not gonna be better than
That's
JaVale.
like
That's what I'm
James
saying.
No, I think it's gonna be about the same as JaVale. James Ennis also.
Okay, I mean,
James
I'm with you.
Ennis also the spokesperson for the Sixers.
I'm with you.
Well,
and
but real quick
we're
before I forget,
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. We ain't even got to switch topics. I just want to throw it out there. You talked about AD, and you know, maybe be about 30% from three and things of that nature. News already 30% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
That boy MB3.
That's my dog.
The next Anthony Davis. Y'all heard it here first. The next Anthony Davis, MB3 is already.
Y'all heard it
30%
here
from
second
three.
because I said it
You know what
already
I'm saying?
on this set.
That's facts.
And they try to shoot me
Pete
down.
talking about he don't know.
They try to shoot me down.
He
They try to
already
shoot me down.
30%
Year
from
one.
three.
AD ain't making
That was
3 till year
early.
3.
That was
No.
Total.
No, but that was fine. Also, AD wasn't taking those 3.
There was a reason he wasn't taking them. He couldn't make
not
them.
And he
necessarily.
was like, I got this.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
These strokes.
No, I like
Let's
that. I like
transition
that.
because I wanted to talk about them as well.
You know,
A lot of people here locally in Sacramento feeling like the Kings got a shot at the AC, which they do have a shot at the AC. I
They
personally,
kicking out the Spurs.
they're gonna be
Hell no. He on OKC.
Oh, okay, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so he's not gonna be there. That's true.
So we'll run down that in a minute. But what I'm saying is this. I think they're a year away still.
You know what?
A year away from
As
making
the
a run,
resident Kings fan in here, that's fair. That is fair.
Can I tell you why?
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening.
The way they get over the hump is Bagley's development, in my opinion. In year 2, that's just asking a lot for him to be able to. Buddy gonna do what he do. At this point, Buddy's the constant.
And I think Fox, we know.
Fox gonna do what he do, but Fox is not. I just don't see in Fox's game. He's not gonna light you up for 25. Bagley is
not every night,
Bagley. You can
but-
almost go to for a bucket now more than you can go to Fox for a bucket, in my opinion.
No fact.
So once it becomes when Bagley becomes that, then the Kings will be a perennial playoff team.
Right.
And
Fox
I
made a
understand.
couple step backs in the 4th last year. I mean,
Fox-
made a couple big
Fox
shots
went
and
for
stuff like that.
went
You
for
know,
like 17 and a half and
Yeah.
7 assists this year. I see it going up to 19 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe getting to 20.
on this type of team, you may not necessarily need.
You may
got
not.
Bogdan.
And that's his
if
value.
you know,
he can and come back and Harrison
his
can
year
get comfortable,
one.
Harrison,
then there's your other way around.
Because that's your 15
That's your
and 15.
other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Harrison, he averaged 16 last year. I don't expect that this year. But if he's your fourth option and he's giving you 13 and good defense, like 7
Bogey
rebounds,
and Harrison,
Bogey,
then you may be able to get that AC this year. But let's look.
Guys off the bench.
You got LA. You got LA. You got Utah. You got Denver. You got Portland. You got Houston.
don't even say it. I know where you're going now. Don't say it because I got him out. I got him out.
They
The
making
streak is
it.
over. I got them out and I got the other team out. They're both.
They still getting in there.
Spurs are
the
right.
Golden State Warriors. He talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking
Make
about
it
both
in.
of them teams.
The Warriors is making it in, KC. The Warriors is making it in. I'm putting away at 7. You can't respect
Yeah, I
that.
think the
You
Warriors
like
will
them.
at least be
You the one that likes
Steph.
them. I'm
It's
giving.
Steph and Draymond and a bunch of bums.
So Steph D'Angelo Russell LeBron?
That's not even an indictment on Steph.
D'Angelo Russell LeBron? It's gotta be an indictment
Come
on
on.
Steph.
It's what's him. It's Steph,
D'Lo,
and Draymond and a bunch of bums. They're starting McKinney at the 3. McKinney was unplayable in the playoffs.
Wait.
He was unplayable, and that was your starting small forward.
Wait, but we're not talking about Eric Snow. We're not. I played with Sasha
You still got Willie
I played with
Cauley-Stein.
Daniel Boogie
Willie
Gibson.
Cauley-Stein is
Right.
gonna be valuable. Willie Cauley-Stein is gonna be valuable for the
I
Warriors.
like Willie more than others, but that ain't it.
He's gonna
That ain't
be
it.
for what they do. He's athletic enough to fit
Willie's
in.
not
Now
horrible
look,
like that.
Now look, I don't think he's horrible either. Now
Willie's
look,
not weaker than Denman.
Initially,
You don't think they'll make 7 or 8?
I will look. Initially, I said they were out.
The Kings
Then
have
I
a
ran
better record than
everything
the
down.
Warriors?
Yes. Then I ran everything down,
I'm with you.
and I believe less in the Spurs than I do the Warriors.
Okay.
So I put the Warriors in there.
I'm saying you
Okay.
the Warriors at
So
7
put
and
the
the Kings
Warriors
at 8.
and then
It could be either one.
So
I have the
Warriors-
Kings at 7, but they could be
I
Warriors,
can see
Kings,
the
and
Spurs not
Spurs will
making it.
fight for 7 and 8.
100%. 100%.
And I can see the
And you
Spurs
got a
not
big
making
Greg
it.
Popovich. DeJounte Murray's coming back.
Lonnie Walker.
Young body Lonnie Walker's coming back.
Lonnie
Greg
Walker was
Popovich
nice.
is coming back.
The point guard White was nice as well.
Forbes is coming
DeMar
back.
DeRozan.
If Marvin Bagley doesn't go down last year, the Kings might make it last year.
I disagree.
I had a sentence on you.
I disagree because only because the Kings had one of the toughest schedules down the stretch. Their
That's
last
true.
25 was very
That's
tough.
true. That
That's
was
the only
tough.
reason.
It was tough.
I don't think they played well, but that schedule was just too tough.
Now to your point, see, this goes back a few years. When we go down memory lane one a little bit. Let's go back a few years. Let's go to the draft when Fox was available. And I told anybody that would listen, I said, this is the guy. This is your franchise right here. This is your heart and soul. You get Fox. Now, I also said, you get Fox and you secure him, but he's going to be your heart and soul. He's going to be the franchise guy. But to make that jump, he's not going to be your best player. You're going to need somebody who's that guy offensively. Fox is going to set him up.
Yeah,
He's going to
exactly.
hit his buckets. But you need somebody that's that guy. And I've seen the light. NB3
Bag boy.
is that guy.
Duffel
And you
bag
talk
boy.
about his second year progression. I agree with you. He went for 15 on barely any time last
He might go
year.
for 20. He might go for 20.
I think he
yeah,
might
I
get
can
to
see him going
19,
for-
20 this year. That boy is back.
Well, and obviously we've seen that he is going to be one of their main scorers and scoring punch, and we've also seen that he can be a go-to guy. I think from what I've seen from De'Aaron Fox in 2 years, it'll be his third year next year, correct? I think that even him, I think those will be in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Those will be two of your go-to guys.
Sure,
Obviously,
good
Buddy
point,
too,
Buddy.
when it comes, off the screens and whatnot, and even sometimes he can get off the dribble. I think we've seen in both of them, Bagley and De'Aaron, they have that dog. They have the initiative. Well, they'll take that. De'Aaron's got putbacks for game winners. He's got step back jumpers for game winners.
He's got that it factor.
He's got that it factor. He'll go down, the lane and stuff like. I mean, I think the progression is looking good. But back to Bogey and back to Harrison, those will be your X
It's a
factor.
big year for both.
I just want to go back to that
It's a
point
big
too
year.
because I feel like that's league wide. Your point guard, in my opinion, right now in today's NBA, if your point guard is your primary scorer, you're not going to be a true contender because it's that wing position.
That wing, small
6'5",
forward.
6'6", and
Yeah.
up is really the dominant positions in the league right now, and those teams are the ones that got a chance because you got to be able to go up against a KD, a Giannis, a PG, a Kawhi, a Brown.
Well-
So when you build around a Fox, you need that Bagley with him. You need that
I'm
Buddy
with you.
with him.
Yeah.
When you build around a Russell, you need someone else
and you
with
need
him.
that trio. And
You
the
need a
Kings
tree,
have that trio now. When you talk about Fox, when you talk about Bagley, and when you talk about Kyle Guy.
There you go.
You see how he was setting me up?
He was setting us up. I was like, okay, he's
It's about the
delivery.
delivery. It's about the delivery.
You're crazy. Okay,
obviously I'm joking around. But do you believe in Kyle? Look, Kyle is...
I believe Kyle Guy would be a
He's
great
not-
piece for the Stockton Kings.
Okay.
But I think he'll get some buckets.
Look,
I believe
don't think-
Kyle
I
Guy
don't
is white.
think Kyle Guy-
He don't say zombie, but that's what I believe.
Look, I think Kyle is not. Look, don't get it twisted. I don't think he's like an X factor this year. Kyle Guy can play. He may need a year at Stockton to go down there and bulk up, but he can. Kyle Guy can be bogey in about 2 years.
Here's my thing with Kyle Guy. Size.
He can be. That's
Bogey can back you down. Bogey has some strength.
I do like Bogey's strength.
Kyle Guy can shoot. I'm not saying he can't shoot. We've seen a lot of white boys who we thought could shoot.
That's
What
true.
can he
Nick
do
Styles, Kid, Jimmy
He
Fredette.
can handle that thing.
to
Will.
create
I'm
his
with
own
you, I'm
shot
with
against NBA defenders? Jimmy Fredette wasn't able to do it. Nick Stauskas hasn't been able to do it. I mean, JJ Redick can run off screens and do it, but if he puts it on the ground, he can't do it.
And Kyle Guy's
think
not
Kyle-
necessarily run off screen.
Kyle Guy has
He got a little more handle. He got a little
does.
more sizzle to him
Well,
than a JJ Redick.
Kyle Guy is better
Sauce
than he.
Castillo was supposed to have that. Nick
He
Stauskas.
did. That was my guy. Shout out to University of Michigan. I was hyped that we got my guy Nick Styles.
And I was
He
upset that
he
y'all
was a
took him
bomb.
over Gary Harris Jr., the same draft, the same position, the
That
same
would be
size,
crazy.
the
That's
same prototype, and you took Stauskas over Gary Harris Jr.
Off the
I'll
field,
never
yeah.
forget
As
that.
a man that saw Nick Stauskas play every game in Michigan, that boy was cooking. There's
Oh, no, he was.
At the very least, Nick Stauskas was supposed to be JJ Redick. At the very least, and I don't know.
I'm with
He
you.
couldn't hit a jump shot
I'm
in the
with you.
NBA.
He not
And he
Gary
couldn't
Harris.
defend.
I don't know.
I'm
Hell
Gary
no,
Harris,
he ain't
Gary
Gary
Harris don't even play but 30 games
Hell
a
no,
year.
he ain't.
He's still better.
He definitely ain't Gary Harris.
You know what I like about Kyle Guy? He's better than Keith Van Horn. Okay, now, so I
don't know if I agree with that.
you know, so
That's the long sock
you
legend.
know the long time, you know, that's all.
We always making a joke. We can get off Kyle. We don't spend too much time
Yeah,
on
you
Kyle
know,
Guy.
that's
But look,
all.
I'm
They
just
got
saying,
triplets. The
I
Kings
like
got
my guy
triplets.
Kyle Guy.
The Kings got triplets with Fox, Buddy, Bagley. They do got the triplets.
Mm-hmm.
And they got pieces. Bogey, Harrison,
And
Trevor
Kyle
Reese
Guy,
Dwayne Dedmon's
yeah,
decent.
Trevor Reese might bring something to you.
Dwayne Dedman, I mean, he gonna do whatever he wanted to do, I guess. You know.
Oh, excuse me.
Billy
Excuse me. We're forgetting. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Rashad.
Harry Giles.
There you go.
He still got to show me something.
I'm gonna tell you. I've told you guys
seen
this before.
something, but I didn't
I've
see
told you guys
something.
this before. I'm a big Harry Giles believer.
I just need
I'm
more
very
durability.
critical of these guys that are like high school phenoms nowadays, and like
Yeah.
number one, everybody got a mixtape and all this other
Seven
stuff.
Woods.
Very critical of it. I will tell you this, because I'm very critical of these young guys. Harry Giles had maybe the most impressive high school mixtape I've ever seen on
Oh,
YouTube.
no, no doubt.
The things he was
I've
able
never
to
seen
do
that.
on the basketball court at his size is unreal.
Could dribble, could pick a pie,
Handle,
could
dish,
handle,
all
could
this.
rise up.
Rise up. He
And that was one
can
of the
he can
greatest high
shoot
school
it.
mixtapes.
He
I'm
can
with you.
do it all. So if he can stay healthy, Harry Giles.
Harry Giles had a great high school mixtape. I haven't seen in England that translate to the
He
NBA.
got hurt. He got hurt.
He did get hurt.
And when he
That's
played
why
last
durability.
year, when
He
Jaeger
can
finally
pass.
started playing him,
Oh, he can pass.
when Jaeger finally started playing last year, he was doing work. He was playing like 15
Hustle,
minutes a game,
effort, rebounding,
but he was getting
defending,
buckets. He would
pick and
have
pop,
he
pick
would
and
have
roll.
games of 14 and 10
Yep.
while playing 15 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a good piece. I just
Harry
don't know
Giles.
what he is still. He's cool.
I think he can help out the Kings in the future as like a Montrezl Harrell. He may never be and the thing is the Kings, if everything falls like how it should, the Kings won't really ever need him to be the main guy.
No, he won't be.
I like him
But I can
off
see
the
him being
bench.
Let's
top
talk
three.
about
But I
this
can
really
see him being
quickly.
in the top three.
Let's
Oh,
talk
with
about
you.
this really quickly. And the East, we ain't even got nothing to talk about the East right now.
Yeah, there's 3 teams in these.
So, I mean, come on, y'all. Good luck over there. I feel like this is going to be one of the years where coaching plays its biggest role. It's going to be heavily influential on the. It's going to be in the deciding factor of who wins some of these series, who win in
It
seeding
was.
as well. So
Yeah.
because you have to, a lot of teams gonna have to ask yourself, do we go hard now for seeding
Or do
we
you
rest? Do we save ourselves? Because
gotta-
there's
I think
so
you gotta
much
rest.
competition in the West.
Me too.
You can't just take so many games off and then fall.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But
I
you
know
don't
by
need-
way
you
the
don't need
Hawaii
the
model
best
is what
record in the-
everybody's gonna
I'm
follow.
But
with
at
you.
the same time, not only that, but strategically as well. Mike D'Antoni, we know if you let Russell and James switch off handing the ball off to end the game, y'all gonna get smoked out.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, you
You just
can't.
don't.
That's gonna be important.
Yeah.
Luke Walton's development of the Kings is gonna be
Yeah.
important.
Oh, I keep forgetting they got Lou.
The Lakers got 3 head coaches on one staff. How are they gonna run that?
That's
that
gonna be
offense?
an issue, and we all know LeBron is trying to put J. Kidd in there. We all know that's the
So I'm
case.
always trying to
So,
put somebody in somewhere.
Vogel just looking like this every time.
I can't get
You
players'
know,
contracts,
He's looking over
man.
his changing. So we already know what time
I
that is.
respect Vogel though, I mean, because he played against me when he was on Indiana.
I
I do
respect him
respect
too.
him.
The question is, does LeBron respect you?
Yeah,
If
that's.
LeBron don't respect you, it's dead man walking.
I think he does. I think, to be honest with you, the reason why I think that part's gonna work out is because a guy like Lionel Hollins and a guy like Jason Kidd, they understand that they're coming into this staff to help out any way that they can.
I
When-
think Jason Kidd thinks he's gonna be a head coach.
Oh no, and he might. I mean, and he might
think
think
that's-
that.
I think
but
that-
but I don't
yeah.
think that hurts. The reason I don't think that hurts is because there's going to be times where, even at work, we have bosses. We have our top bosses that may not be in the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
We have our lower bosses and our supervisors. There's always the chain of command.
Yeah.
There's certain people that we end up going to, talking to about certain things, whether it be in basketball, you got defensive assignments, you got offensive assignments, you have main team, dynamic and stuff like that. That's why you have multiple coaches on the coaching staff.
I think it's gonna matter this year because just we've all played sports in our time, and we could probably all attest to, regardless of how good your best player is, the team is always better when everybody buys into the coach's system.
Yeah.
If everybody's all on one accord, then everything flows more smoothly. If
One
DeMarcus
band,
is
one
able to
sound.
accept his role, whatever they deem that is. If Rondo is able to accept his role, Kuzma, whatever they deem that is, be it a starter or a sixth man,
Yeah.
then you have one person enforcing that as opposed to, okay, well, Coach says this, but what does Brown think?
Right.
What does DeMarcus think? So to get everybody on one accord is going to be the key, not only for the Lakers, but for the Rockets, for the Kings, for a lot of these teams, for the Warriors bringing in D'Angelo Russell now, so it's a lot.
that's fact.
Coaching
It's
going to
gonna
play
be
a
a
big
lot
part
of teams.
this year.
That's fact. And there's two things I want to say. So even with the Warriors, it's not even a knock to say that I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, they lost a lot.
They lost a lot.
the top 3
They lost a
defenders. Right now, everybody's gonna score 150 points a night on them.
I know,
All
yeah.
right? And if anything,
People gonna eat, yeah.
anything happens to Draymond or Steph during that
Even a
season,
little bit.
they got no safety net.
And I don't think Steph can just be the only one to carry you
I
like
don't
that.
think so either. And D'Angelo helps.
So
D'Angelo
let me
helps,
ask you
but-
this: Steph and D'Lo can't beat Dame and CJ?
To be honest with you, yeah, I don't.
Because Draymond also cooked against them.
That's true.
Draymond played out of his mind in that series.
Yeah.
Is that a matchup thing, or was it just that week, that 2 weeks, was he just on?
I just
or was
think
it the matchup?
because Draymond didn't do that at all the regular
No.
season. Now, honestly, he said he lost weight, and that's
He played
fine.
good
But
against the Clippers too, so maybe it was
Yeah.
just that 2 week thing. But I mean, I wouldn't bank on Draymond was playing out of his mind offensively in that series. I would not,
and he was
think that
really
he could
just
do that again.
Yeah,
against
and he was
the Lakers.
facilitating.
Not to say he
everywhere.
fall off a
I
cliff.
But he's also
But to
going to
be
have
back.
more responsibility to do that this year as well, especially as the primary assist man. on
Which
the
means
team.
people is going to be watching for him a lot
He
more. this
still
year,
has
too.
2 shooters that can shoot the lights out, which is what they started with before KD ever came.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not they lost from what they had, but they closer to what they was.
But once again,
Past the- past the three, they have nobody,
I think that
though.
defensive situation is going to be essential.
Oh yeah, they have nobody.
But I still wouldn't
Yeah.
want to shoot
Even
it out.
when
with
they
him.
go-
Oh, no.
I still wouldn't want to shoot it out. with
Oh
him.
yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm taking Clay over D'Lo for shooting. I mean, if I'm just taking shooting, but D'Lo obviously has shown in 1 year that he is he can be a good into a great shooter. He's gonna need some pick and rolls. He's gonna
be getting a lot more catch and shoots now.
Yeah,
Nah, that's true.
And that boy got a strap on him.
That's true.
Let me ask you guys this though. We talked about 9 teams. Are we missing any of these other guys? Are we missing? Everybody's high in New Orleans. I'm not. high on
Interesting,
them.
but not contending.
Dallas,
Yeah. They
want
could
to
be
throw
close.
Dallas, KP.
We talked about
Well,
Dallas
that's
could be
that's
close.
just how strong the West
I don't
is.
think Dallas is close.
Those are
at
good
all.
I think
teams.
Dallas.
They struck out on everybody, and I love Kristaps Porzingis. You guys
If
know
he
I
ends up
love
being
the
healthy,
Knicks,
yep.
so I love Kristaps. But he hasn't played the whole season this whole
Yeah.
I think
He's
those are going to be
7-4.
good
I
teams.
I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon.
They're going to be
Luka.
nice because I like Tim Hardaway
Tim Hardaway
too.
Jr.
but
Tim Hardaway Jr. Go blue. You know what it is.
What
man.
can you
It's
do?
the same.
It's the West. What can you do?
I think they'll be
I don't
9
think they
seed.
got
I think the Mavericks could be, you know, be
I don't
like a
think they
9
got
seed.
enough.
I think they'll be
Pelicans.
fun to watch if Kristaps is good. But,
Yeah.
and then same with the
Them
Pelicans.
and the Pelicans.
They'll be fun to watch. They'll probably be getting up and down, but they not fighting for 8
Man,
seed yet.
who else we got?
Minnesota's out of there.
Yeah, Minnesota, the
OKC,
Grizzlies,
out of there.
OKC, the
Phoenix is
Suns.
Phoenix
Yeah.
done. Yeah,
So-
so it's about those 9 teams.
That's about those teams.
About those 9 teams.
Now let me ask this. Obviously, we're not really gonna go deep into the Eastern Conference. We kind of know what it is when it comes to the Bucks, Sixers. Bucks, Sixers, Pacers, Celtics gonna be about the same.
Nets
Depending,
and Raptors.
Nets, Raptors, and that's pretty much it. Who out of this year do you guys have coming out of the East, getting into the finals from the East? I know Oladipo's kind of a variable.
Yeah, because you know
health.
he's going to come back. They did some things, but I'm going to go with Milwaukee. A lot of people are talking about Philadelphia, but losing Jimmy Butler is an issue.
And no JJ Redick.
And no JJ. And as you guys probably know by my tweets, I'm not a Ben Simmons guy at all.
Yeah, and Tobias Harris.
I'm going to
still has
say
yet
right
show
now,
us.
people think I'm crazy. They talking about giving him a max rookie extension. I would have traded his ass while he still had value,
While he still had the value,
this
guys.
summer. And I'm dead serious. I would have put him on the block this summer. I don't believe in Ben Simmons at all. I don't think he's a scrub, but I don't believe in him at all. That's not the answer. And then you're going to have to go through the Kawhi method with Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure he can get through the season and be ready for the playoffs. I think Milwaukee, I think Giannis is the exact opposite of Ben Simmons. I have no faith that Ben Simmons is going to do what he needs to
And
do.
works
to
on his
improve
game
on his
enough,
game.
yeah.
I think Ben Simmons just like, this is what I do and this is what it is. I think Giannis was
works.
embarrassed by what happened against Toronto.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna have something
He's going to
in
get
his
that.
arsenal.
He's been in that gym. And he's going
We
to come
seen
out
it.
with a vengeance. I
do
don't know if
work.
he's going to be MVP again this year, but he is
not.
going to improve his game. I believe in Giannis.
I believe that.
I gotta go with Milwaukee as well. Not because of Milwaukee. I don't think they got much better. I mean, they lost.
They lost Brogdon.
That's
That's
not gonna make the
big.
team better.
No, they threw the whole bag at your boy.
I
They
know.
threw the whole bag
Okay,
at your
middle.
boy.
Middleton. So they're still good. I don't think they got much better besides whatever.
They had to.
They had to.
I mean, they
I don't
had
fault
to.
them. They had to do what
But
they
they
had to
did
do.
throw a line. I
So-
know.
Jesus Christ.
But I think that Jimmy Butler was still the best player on the Sixers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
believe
that's
that.
the reason I don't have him coming out of that.
That's right. And when it came down to it, that's who you got the ball to.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler.
Ben
And
didn't
I-
even want it.
Ben-
Ben don't even
Hell,
want it.
Simmons.
He don't even want it.
Ben
at the end of
Simmons
the
was on
game.
the short corner, sitting there looking like he had his hands in his pants.
And B can barely get up the court, so you know, he was
Tobias,
barely
come on, man. Tobias is
Yeah.
a glorified role player, dog.
Yeah, Tobias. Really,
And I like Tobias.
He got a lot of
I
money.
see no lies in what you said.
He got a lot
I
of
see
money
no
too.
lies. So
Yeah,
I'm going Milwaukee.
I do like the Pacers and obviously the Celtics. I mean, you replace Kevin with Kyrie, so that's fine. I mean, the production is going to be
I gotta
fine.
hold you up though, if we're gonna be fair, because you brought up the Celtics and what
Al
they were
Horford.
losing. Al Horford
And they
going
lost
to
Marcus
Philly.
Morris too.
Al Horford going to Philly. Well, I mean, does that matter to you guys?
I don't know how it
Not
works.
really.
Ben Simmons, Al Horford, and Embiid on the same court.
I think
Well,
you got to
only-
bring Horford off the bench. I think you have
I think
to.
he's gonna start, but it only works if
don't like
Ben
that.
Simmons does something like
Al Horford-
That
the
clogs
perimeter
up the
player.
lane.
Al Horford can
Crazy.
shoot. It's a slow release.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you don't want Horford to just be shooting. I mean, Brook Lopez is a little bit better of a shooter than Al Horford is at this point. And you don't want Ben and Al Horford that can't really. I mean, Al Horford can kind of
I
shoot.
mean, it all
but
comes down to Ben, I think.
Horford
Really?
can play. It's just I don't know how it works.
I like Horford off their bench because their bench is without. I mean, because I don't even know
Mike
who's on their
Scott-
bench.
Mike Scott's on there.
They got
Anderson
Josh
on there.
Richardson.
Josh, they got Josh starting.
Yeah, he's starting.
I mean, supposedly. I mean, you got. I mean,
Josh Richardson a nice little piece.
No,
I
Josh
like
Richardson
So
is,
now that
yeah.
I look at the rock,
It's cool 3 and D dude.
yeah, like Josh Richardson. I like Horford. I mean, I'm not picking him over Milwaukee.
I'm with you.
I
Yeah.
like-
It's Ben, Richardson, Tobias, Horford, and B.
Yeah.
That's a good starting five.
No,
on
that's
paper.
not horrible.
How
Yeah.
does it play?
Horford
And then
may
who's off
not
the
play
bench?
well at
No
all.
bench whatsoever.
Horford's floor, what he was showing last year, was low.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously we know he's getting older and starting to decline. It was
I mean, the East
really
is waiting
low.
for KD to return.
Oh yeah, Kyrie just gonna have his little freestyle year
That's
and
what
get
they
with
want.
him. You
His
know,
freestyle year.
I mean, Kyrie's gonna have his little freestyle year. I mean, he gonna, I mean, that's what he gonna do. You know, that's what
He's
he
gonna be
gonna
out there free.
He gonna be out there doing
Kyrie
his,
about to
doing the USA joints, you know, the record bars, you know. So
Kyrie gonna be doing.
he
his
gonna be
thing.
chilling.
Kyrie and KD gonna be nasty though. I can't wait to see it. And I hate KD, but I do like that combination.
Oh no, I do like that combination too.
That
Yeah,
is gonna be nasty.
That's gonna be nasty.
they have the potential to definitely
Like you
get
said,
past
he
the
throwing
Bucks and the
Dinwiddie in
Sixers.
there, he throwing-
I
he
love
throwing-
Dinwiddie
he
and I
throwing
love
my boy-
Karis LeVert.
See,
Shout out
Karis
Go Blue
LeVert.
again. You know what I'm saying?
Jared
Factory
Allen.
out here, man.
Yeah.
Factory. man.
Jared Allen's gonna be nice on that team
Yeah.
too. You know,
So
with the
they
Nets
they,
shot
they
block.
chilling this year and next year. Is
They'll still make the playoffs this year.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be
you know,
top 4 maybe.
you know.
Yeah.
Top 4 maybe. So
I'm,
the East is like whatever.
I want to see Oladipo back. That's my big.
That's the key.
Because the Pacers.
The Pacers got better if he comes back.
I know. I was kind of like hot that they
Well, the
lost
Pacers-
Bogdanovich, but
They
they
added
did.
Brogdon.
But they added Brogdon, and I think they added.
They added
got
T.J.
one
Warren.
other
Yeah, T.J. Warren.
T.J.
That's
Warren
a
can
good-
hoop.
That's a good 18 a game.
I don't think that puts them in that top tier though.
In the East,
I don't think they're better than Philly and Milwaukee.
I think they
And
can beat one of
the
their
big
teams.
the big thing with the
And
Celtics
Oladipo's
too
nice.
that we have to talk about as well, just a little bit. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Everybody, you know, was saying after they obviously their first year in the playoffs, and or Jaylen, you know, Jaylen Brown saying, you know, in all the playoffs and stuff like that.
They're gonna be
They,
back.
they gotta. No, I'm saying they got. No, they gotta have a good year. They
I
gotta
got
have
my
a good
eyes on
year.
them boys.
I got
Because
my
all
eyes
I
on them.
heard was
They
this was
did,
all.
they did.
You listen to Bill Simmons. It was
Thank
all
you.
Kyrie's fault.
Thank you.
Nobody told Jason Tatum to miss no shots. Nobody told Jaylen Brown to miss no shots. You got some looks, you knock them down. If you're untouchable, and Adam is untouchable, they couldn't touch these boys in no trade scenario.
They'll get traded for everything,
So I got
yeah.
my eyes on you. Kyrie's gone. I don't want to hear no. I got my eyes, and I think
Both of you.
I think Tatum can play. I think Jaylen Brown can play, but I need to see it now. 'Cause you guys
And
are
I got my
untouchable.
eye on Brad
Stevens. Because they were saying a couple years ago,
man.
better than
Come on, man, they was
Popovich,
wilding,
better than
bro.
Phil Jackson, better than
they
Pat
was
Riley.
wilding. They was sitting up there talking about
I'm like,
how
hold
many
on.
players would you go down the list before you say I would trade this player for Brad?
For Brad
Stevens?
Stevens.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Well, what was going on was when he had all those cats, they was all young at the same time, so they didn't have their heads blown up yet. So it was just like coaching a college team.
True.
Terry Rozier is playing in his element. Jason Tatum's running around off screens and cutting and getting easy buckets. Jalen Brown's
you know,
just filling in
Kobe
doing what he
stuff.
could do. After Kobe gets a hold of your head, and does a detail on you.
Does the detail on you, Jaylen
Well,
Brown?
Jason Tatum, don't pass this. You can get your mid range off
Don't
that.
pivot this way.
And now all of a sudden you catching the ball and pivoting and dribbling before you make your move.
That's facts, though.
Now your game has changed up, your flow of your offense has changed up, and your looks is tougher.
Yeah.
You're not Kobe yet.
You're not there.
You know, so
You're not
let's
there.
play in the offense.
Yeah.
You know,
The other aspect of this, people talk about what Brad Stevens did, what they did, why Kyrie wasn't there. I mean, that road to the Eastern Conference Finals, which they lost, by the way. All right, that road was average at best. It was average at best. You had Milwaukee before they were ready without Brook Lopez. You had Philly before they were ready without Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris.
That's true.
And then you went up against a terrible Cavs team. And you had a Game 7 at the crib, and you couldn't get it done. So Brad Stevens and all you Celtics apologists up here getting at my man Kyrie, fall back. Because that little run you had, that was fool's gold.
Thank you.
That was fool's gold. I ain't hearing all that.
I agree.
I like Kimba though. I'm mad that he went to Boston. We texted about this.
Yeah,
a lot.
we were texting
I'm mad
about
that
it.
he went to Boston because Kimba's my guy.
You
Yeah.
wanted him to stay though.
I did want him to stay.
That would have been terrible.
I mean,
Terrible.
I do. I know. It is
I wouldn't
tough,
see the
but-
league like that though. The
I'm
league,
with you.
It does nothing for the league that he goes to Boston.
Well, the league, the East is not in the league right now. So I mean, come on.
Damn.
The West look beautiful. This
Okay,
dynamic duels
So
everywhere.
I
out
see
here.
his Ron
so we're
Lee's,
saying-
he's got all
So we're
these, you know.
saying that Giannis and the Bucks can't win the NBA Finals.
Not right now.
I don't think they get past the Lakers, Clippers, or
they should have capitalized on their window. Just like OKC should have capitalized on their window when they lost 3-1.
And the Raptors did capitalize on their window this year.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. And damn, it's gonna sound like I don't think he's good, and he's been in my eye lately when I say this. If the Bucks played the Lakers in the finals, Giannis would bust AD's ass. Giannis would bust AD's ass.
AD's not a bum defender.
He ain't.
I mean,
but Giannis
he's a great defender.
I mean, it's like, come on.
Giannis will bust his ass.
I don't get this. I would want to see it.
Yeah, I would want to see it. Because
that could happen this year.
It could happen. And that's where I think with Giannis was going to be important on his game.
Is he going to bust LeBron ass?
Does he have...
Because they can switch it.
Giannis out here calling people babies, man.
Well,
Giannis out here rocking the baby. He's a baby.
He didn't bust Kawhi ass. He did not bust Kawhi.
Or
Kawhi.
Nah, I'm with you.
But even with that, like the thing is so fragile. After game 2, he was busting their ass. You know what I'm saying? They was up 2-0. Yeah. He was killing. They went into game 3. They had opportunity. That was a double overtime win.
Yeah.
And they had opportunities to go 3-0.
Yeah.
And once they didn't get that, Nick Nurse and Kawhi kind of figured everything else out.
Tough, yeah.
And it was
it was so fragile.
It was so fragile. So
it's gonna be interesting. We definitely gonna be watching Giannis and seeing, where his progression. Because I think that's the big thing with Giannis. We've seen with other forwards in the past historically. We've seen with other guards and wing, players. We know that Giannis can defend. We know he can rebound. He's shown to be able to play make and beat people off the dribble. You have to have somewhat of a mid range.
Right.
And you got to at least extend out to the perimeter, especially nowadays, to do a little bit, at least to be a threat from the 3.
In all fairness, AD has that. And Giannis
Facts.
has that. So I will say that AD's a phenomenal talent. All right, I'm not here to act like he's a scrub or even close to it. He's one of the great players we got in the league today. I just don't believe in him. That's all.
Well, in my opinion, the one player who always, even in every year, including this year, has the most pressure on him is going to be LeBron. But it should be Anthony Davis because
that's true.
LeBron gonna do what he do.
Mm-hmm.
Is Anthony Davis gonna do what he do to secure that championship? Y'all ask for it.
What you think?
I mean, to be honest with you, he obviously has the skill set to do so.
Yeah.
I think AD can help elevate a team, not necessarily being the best player on a team like a LeBron or like a KD or like a Kawhi who can carry a team. But I think that a guy like AD as the number 2, and then at times, he's going to be the number 1 option at times, which is going to be completely fine. That's how it's supposed to work. PG and Kawhi, there's going to be times where PG might be high, Kawhi, vice versa.
Right.
I think AD can elevate. I think he can do that. He has the skill set to do that. The only reason why all of us, and even me included, are skeptical somewhat is because we've only seen him in the playoffs very little.
Right, this is his first real season.
This will be his first real, with the best team that he's ever had, the best supporting cast that he's ever had, arguably maybe even the best coaching that he's ever had. But shout out to Alvin Gentry, shout out to Monty Williams. Mm-hmm. But I think, arguably, this is the point
right now. Can we afford to wait another year of Bron getting older and Clay coming back? And the Clippers having another year to play together, and all these things.
Well,
Utah gelling some more. Can we afford to wait another year?
Well, here's my answer to that. At the level that Bron is right now, an older LeBron, as he gets older, as long as he doesn't have an injury like that. Now, granted, he's going to be aging fine. You having an older LeBron and having AD as your young piece and Kuzma, hopefully Kuzma, becomes that, that other third, option, being that which he's shown potential that he can be.
Yeah.
He's better than a lot of third options that we have in this league right now.
That's right.
He's better than Tobias Harris. So, yes. Kuzma, I'll take Kuzma over Tobias Harris right now.
Okay.
For his contract.
And for what he's shown. I don't think Tobias has shown that, but that's cool, and we're going to see that this year. Yeah. We saw what Tobias did last year in the playoffs. Yeah. Nothing. So what I'm saying is that at this point, Bron is in a situation where you have a player in AD that could arguably take over as your main guy. So I think Bron right now is sitting kind of nicely in the sense, but there's still going to be obvious pressure.
Right.
Still going to be obvious pressure. But I think with the way the team is going and AD, being the future, obviously at this point, the Lakers have set themselves up nicely. They set themselves up in a win-now situation, but they're also going to be flexible for cap space in 2020 and as well as 2021.
2021 is the real one. 2021 is going to be like 19. Have you
Yeah.
seen that list?
Yeah, that's
Next year, this upcoming one ain't really about nothing.
2021, you got Kawhi, Bron, Paul George,
It's gonna be crazy.
Gobert, LaMarcus Aldridge.
It's going to be crazy.
CJ McCollum.
Oh yeah, that's when LaMarcus retiring.
I know LaMarcus is finally out of that.
Brad Bill's gonna be on that class.
That's class. Bradley Beal might finally get out of confinement, so out of being locked up. So.
I gotta get to the prior engagement, but to wrap up the point, they're set up really nice, for that future to try and knock off the Kings. They're set up really nice to try and knock off the Kings in 2021.
Hey, Kings Lakers gonna be having some big games. I can't even front with you. That's okay.
Is the Kings gonna make it? Is yet to be determined.
No, baby,
We're gonna see what
the drought is over. The drought is over, baby.
Free game, we here.
Free game, Casey's corner.
Fellas, I appreciate you.
Yeah, already. You already know.
We always have a good
We
time
always
when we
get
do
it.
this, man, for sure.
Let's wrap it.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get all the way back out to the south.